America's unfolding tragedy. Homelessness crisis grips the nation as numbers surge. The American dream, once a beacon of opportunity and stability, is increasingly shadowed by a stark and growing reality: homelessness. Across the United States, a silent crisis is unfolding, with the number of individuals without stable housing surging to alarming levels. This isn't just a coastal city issue. It's a nationwide emergency impacting communities from bustling metropolises to quiet suburban towns. Recent data paints a grim picture. In 2023, the U.S. witnessed the largest single-year increase in homelessness on record, with the total number of people experiencing homelessness reaching levels not seen in decades. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development (HUD) reported a staggering 12% jump in homelessness from 2022 to 2023, translating to over 70,650 more people living on the streets, in shelters, or in precarious situations. This surge isn't a random fluctuation. It's a continuation of a worrying trend. While there were periods of decline in homelessness in the early 2010s, the numbers began to creep upwards again in recent years, culminating in the dramatic spike of 2023. The COVID-19 pandemic exacerbated existing vulnerabilities, but the roots of this crisis run much deeper. Several factors are converging to fuel this rise. Skyrocketing housing costs. The most significant driver is the relentless increase in housing costs across the nation. Rents and home prices have outpaced wage growth for years, leaving affordable housing increasingly out of reach for low-income individuals and families. In many major cities, the median rent consumes a substantial portion of minimum wage earnings, making housing insecurity a constant threat. Affordable housing shortage. Compounding the cost issue is a critical shortage of affordable housing units. Decades of underinvestment in affordable housing development have created a supply-demand imbalance, pushing prices up and leaving vulnerable populations with few options. Economic instability and wage stagnation. While the overall economy may show growth, many Americans are experiencing economic insecurity. Wage stagnation coupled with rising living costs means that even those employed are often one job loss or medical emergency away from housing instability. Mental health and addiction crises. Untreated mental health conditions and substance use disorders are significant contributors to homelessness. Lack of access to affordable and comprehensive mental health care and addiction treatment leaves individuals struggling with these challenges particularly vulnerable to housing loss. Systemic inequities. Homelessness disproportionately affects certain populations, highlighting deep-seated systemic inequities. People of color, particularly Black and Indigenous individuals, are significantly overrepresented in homeless populations compared to their share of the overall population. Veterans and youth are also particularly vulnerable groups. The consequences of this rising tide of homelessness are devastating, both for individuals and communities. For those experiencing homelessness, it means exposure to harsh conditions, increased risk of violence and illness, and profound social isolation. For communities, it strains social services, impacts public health, and reflects a fundamental failure to provide basic human needs. Addressing this crisis requires a multifaceted and urgent response. Experts and advocates emphasize the need for increased investment in affordable housing. Significantly expanding the supply of affordable housing through public and private initiatives is paramount. Strengthening social safety nets. Robust social safety nets, including unemployment benefits, food assistance programs, and accessible health care, are crucial to prevent individuals from falling into homelessness. Expanding access to mental health and addiction services. Investing in comprehensive and affordable mental health and substance use treatment is essential to address a key driver of homelessness. Addressing systemic inequities. Targeted interventions and policies are needed to address the disproportionate impact of homelessness on marginalized communities. The rise of homelessness in the USA is not just a statistic. It's a human tragedy unfolding in real time. It demands immediate attention, compassionate action, and a commitment to building a society where housing is a right, not a privilege, for all Americans. The future of our communities and the well-being of our fellow citizens depends on it. If you are currently facing homelessness or financial hardship, please visit houseofasseveration.com and fill out the form. We are here to help you. Question: what are some reasons for homelessness in your area? Comment below.